She only had her husband help her put on some sunscreen, and only then did she allow him to go into the sea by himself to have fun. But she waited on the rocks for over half an hour, and still did not see her husband climb back out of the water. So frightened, she quickly asked a young couple nearby if they had seen her husband, but the couple said they had not seen anyone else the entire time. With no other choice, Lisa had to call her husband's phone, but his phone showed that it was already powered off. Because of this, Lisa quickly put on her jacket and ran toward the beach. But even after asking every tourist there, she still got no information about her husband at all. Realizing her husband might be in life-threatening danger, Lisa had no choice but to seek help from a lifeguard on that beach. Then they immediately went out to sea on a speedboat to search, but they spent over an hour circling on the water, and still found no floating objects near the beach. And by then her husband had already been missing for over 2 hours. With no other option, Lisa went to the police station to report it. Unexpectedly, when the police heard her husband was missing, they laughed out loud, because that beach area was very small, and if no one was found after 2 hours, it meant her husband must have secretly gone off to enjoy himself. Then the officer told her to go home and wait for news. Little did she know this wait would last half a month. During that time, Lisa came to that beach every single day to wait for her husband, but he never showed up. One night the phone in the hotel room suddenly rang. At first she thought it was her husband, but after answering she realized it was a sales call from the hotel. Just like that, Lisa fell into deep disappointment. Where on earth had her husband gone, since summer vacation had already ended? As a teacher, she had no choice but to return to school to teach her students. But what she did not expect was, on her very first day back at work, she discovered that the lifeguard who once helped save her husband was actually a new student at her school, and he deliberately tried to start conversations with her. He even invited her out to dinner that night, but Lisa refused him without hesitation, because she firmly believed her husband was still alive. After returning home, Lisa turned on her husband's computer to look through his past work videos, but unexpectedly she discovered a mysterious woman appearing in the videos, and her eyes clearly showed affection toward her husband. Lisa guessed this woman might be connected to her husband, but she seemed to have never seen this woman before. The next day, Lisa suddenly received a call from the police, saying they had recovered a male body from the sea. Hearing this, Lisa was instantly terrified, with chills running through her scalp. She thought something had really happened to her husband, but when she arrived at the morgue to identify the body, she discovered the deceased was not her husband at all, but another person who had drowned. After seeing how pitiful Lisa looked, the officer told her about a similar case from before, where a woman's husband also suddenly disappeared without explanation, but half a year later the man suddenly returned home. The reason was that he had spent 6 months traveling with his lover, and only came home after spending all the money. After returning home, Lisa was extremely heartbroken. Could it be that her husband was really a scumbag like people said? At that moment she thought again of that mysterious woman, so she opened her husband's computer and continued watching the videos, and she discovered that every time her husband took photos, the mysterious woman appeared, and the later the time period became, the angrier the woman's expression looked, as if she had a deep blood feud with her husband. After realizing something was wrong, Lisa quickly started searching her husband's closet, trying to find some useful clues. Unexpectedly, after searching for a while, she found a receipt for a diamond bracelet hidden in her husband's pocket, but she had never seen this diamond necklace before. So the next day Lisa went to the bank, preparing to carefully check her husband's account statements, only to discover her husband had withdrawn a large sum of money 1 month earlier, which made her develop serious suspicion toward him. But before she could figure out what was going on, an investigator suddenly came to her door. It turned out they suspected Lisa's husband of misappropriating public funds. This left Lisa feeling very confused, because her husband had always been an honest man. But since the investigator came there, he naturally had evidence. Lisa could only cooperate and answer some of his questions. After the investigator left, the sound of knocking suddenly came from the door. Lisa never expected the person knocking to be the lifeguard Jack. Without saying a word, he confessed his feelings to Lisa, but Lisa rejected him without hesitation. But Jack did not get discouraged because of that. Instead, he said he was also very curious about where Lisa's husband had gone, so he suggested investigating together with Lisa, in order to find her missing husband. Lisa had no choice but to agree to Jack's request. When the next day arrived, the two of them waited in advance downstairs at her husband's company, waiting for that mysterious woman to get off work. Then they began following her. In the end, they found nothing suspicious about her. After leaving the company, she only went to a pharmacy to buy some medicine. Then she drove home. By the time they followed her back home, it was already late at night. For safety reasons, Jack suggested sending Lisa home first, and said he would handle the rest himself. When the next day came, Jack deliberately parked his car in front of the mysterious woman's house. Then he let the air out of the tires. Without another word, he knocked on her door, saying his tire had been punctured, and hoping she could lend him a jack. He thought she would refuse him right away, but when she saw Jack's handsome face, she lent him the jack without hesitation. Little did she know she had fallen right into Jack's plan. After Jack finished changing the spare tire and returned the jack, he suddenly asked if he could borrow her bathroom. Seeing how dirty he looked, the woman invited him inside. After entering the house, Jack began observing every corner, but he found no signs that a man lived there. However, just as he was about to leave, he was suddenly stopped by the woman. It turned out the woman wanted to invite Jack for a drink.